Welcome to round 4 of the NR2003 Twitter Manager Championship. I'm Andy Graham, and we're commentating at the Las Vegas Speedway. We've got a 1.5 mile oval, 9 degrees banking at 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we've got 161 laps, 42 drivers. And let's jump right into the starting grid for today's race. And we have yet another front row lockout for Richard Childress Racing. We've got Brad Keselowski, a man under considerable pressure at the moment to perform and get results because of the good start of the season from Harrison Burton. He's on pole. Chris Buescher starts second place in the number 3 car. Then we get the part-timers, Bobby Newman for Team Red Bull starting in 3rd place, and 4th is Harrison Burton in his first outage in the Williams car. Then we get Chase Elliott in 5th, Christopher Bell in 6th, and then Byron in 7th ahead of Logano. Chandler Smith, very impressive qualifying in 9th. 10th place is Kyle Busch. Rafael Sard in 11th. He's been the surprise package of the season. 5th in points. 11th on the grid, alongside Sam Mayer, part-timer in the 78 car. Justin Allgaier, 13th on the grid in the 19, ahead of Alex Bowman. Then we get Eric Jones and Austin Cindric, before the Stuart Haas trio of Truex, Almirola and Suarez, and rounding out your top 20 is Kurt Busch for Biaggi Dembeste Racing. Then we get Denny Hamlin starting in 21st alongside Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick in 23rd, and Hector Gutierrez in 24th. Justin Haley starts 25th position ahead of Ross Chastain. And then we get the Roush's. Bourdais 27th, Rosenqvist 28th, Trevor Bayne in 29th, and Christian Lundgaard in 30th. Landon Castle, a very impressive 31st place in qualifying for the Starcon team. He'll start alongside Ryan Blaney for Germain Racing. Matt Benedetto, we haven't seen him in the last 2 races. He starts in 33rd alongside Tyler Anderson for Germain. Logan Sargent, a very impressive 35th place in qualifying for him, beating out Darrell Wallace Jr. Then we get Briscoe and Harvick. This petty car is so inconsistent. We've seen Harvick putting good performances in it, but it really seems to be struggling. They're 37th and 38th. Custer won the LCQ. He'll start in 39th. What can he do? It's not a bad track to be starting near the back. And then you get Matt Kenseth making his debut this season for Levine Family Racing in 40th. Haley Deegan, 41st position for Gaunt. And then you get Tyler Pelly, who was the last of them to make it through the LCQ. So let's get ready for today's race. 161 laps at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Coming through here. Looks like most people have got away well. Be a similar sort of distance to the Atlanta race. Well, it'll be shorter than the Atlanta race, but lap times are very similar. And here we come. We're building up speed for the start of the race. We are going at Las Vegas, and it's Keselowski making a good start. Hiding now into turn 1. Obviously, that outside lane isn't the best for starting on. So Keselowski in the lead. Bobby Newman in 2nd for Red Bull. And here he comes, looking to the inside. 3 wide in the background between Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Chris Buescher. All got through there well. And to the line, who's going to lead the first lap? It's going to be Keselowski. It looks like he's going to lose out the lead to Bobby Newman. That Red Bull car is looking very rapid. Bobby Newman did a really solid job. Here comes Chase Elliott to the bottom. We've got Chandler Smith there pretty well at the moment. In the 20 car, Byron tries to come down low on him, but Smith is having none of it. Keselowski under pressure from the Hendrick car, which struggles a little bit in the straight line. Meanwhile, coming back down low, right in front of Rafael Lessard is Chris Buescher, who's now going to put the pressure on. So Bobby Newman continues to lead at Las Vegas. He's got a good car at the moment. Lessard Going to the middle of the racetrack, taking an interesting line here. It's Chandler Smith now. Elliott was a bit slow getting moves done. He's going to the inside. So the rookie in the 20 car trying to put in a good show in here. It's a good racetrack to do it. Meanwhile, Chris Buescher is all over the back here. Justin Allgaier, another Gibbs car. It's looking pretty decent on the inside there. Meanwhile, Smith goes up top. And here comes Chris Buescher, having none of it. Forces his way down the bottom. Kozlowski tries to get down low. Jones isn't going to quite happen. So here we go, up front. Bobby Newman leads the way in the 83 car. So all but one lap so far, but he's going to get pressure soon from Chris Buescher. Allgaier there fighting with Chandler Smith. And then you get the Hendrick cars. Stu Hart is on the bottom. Truex, Suarez, Bowman. Denny Hamlin's in a decent position at the moment. Looking down the order, who's lost out at the start? I'll tell you who hasn't lost out is Landon Castle. Crosses the line at the moment. It's 23rd position. It's really in the lead. I think most people are in this lead group. But yeah, the Starcom do look competitive here. Meanwhile, sorry we missed it, but Buescher is up front now. He's made a move on Bobby Newman. Here comes Justin Allgaier following through. Is there enough on the bottom for Bobby Newman to slot back in? Yes, there is. But plenty of gap. It's very helpful here to build a bit of a cushion over your competition. So, Buescher's back up front. Well, for the first time today, actually, in the free car. He's been brilliant this season. 3 top 10s, points leader. Here comes Bobby Newman, back down the inside of Allgaier. Eric Jones there, looking to capitalise. Jones hasn't had a very good result so far this season. He's now going to make the move from Justin Allgaier for 3rd place. Truex and Suarez have worked very well. Started in the mid-teens. They're now looking, well, they're fighting for top 5s at the moment. Here comes Truex to the bottom of Allgaier. He's going to try and get to Eric Jones here. Meanwhile, Bobby Newman. This is an interesting balance. See what Red Bull do. If Bobby Newman picks up the win today, the car's capable. We know it. So meanwhile, looking further back, Suarez is up past Allgaier now. Meanwhile, here's a bit of a battle to watch. They've got Logano there. Harrison Burton in that Williams car, we know is pretty competitive. We're expecting big things with it. Ran well in practice, didn't quite get that together in qualifying. So back up front we go. Jones and Truex are starting to pull up towards the leading duo. There's a lot of pressure on Bobby Newman's back here to get a good job done today. Very impressively, we've remained green flag racing. It's been very clean racing so far. As the top 4 continue to try and push away. 4 different cars, 3 different manufacturers. No dodges in this lead pack. It's Suarez, Bowman, Logano, Harrison Burton in 8th place at the moment. You get Bell, Allgaier, Elliott, Kyle Busch. There's Keselowski. Then you get Sam Mayer and Byron. Here's Tyler Reddick making a move on Chandler Smith. We've got Justin Haley, Cole Custer, Austin Cindric, Denny Hamlin. Still got in the top 30 Landon Castle. Here he is being pushed on by Sebastian Bourdais, who's had a pretty impressive start to the year. Christian Lundgaard having a good run here at Las Vegas at the moment. Top of the Roushers at the moment. As we go back forwards through the field. Bobby Newman has taken the lead off Buescher. Buescher's trying to fight back here. Not going to happen on this time, but as the front sort of group close up again. You can't pull away here. It's not like Atlanta where if it goes well, you can sort of make a bit of a gap. Slipstream's just very important here. Here comes Harrison Burton. He's looking fast. He's moving his way up now into 6th position. Top 4 remain the same. They're trying to now pull the gap back out before Bobby Newman decided to make that move. Buescher very late to commit, making the move on the inside of Bobby Newman, but Newman gets a great exit there. That was a really late decision to make the move. And here comes Truex looking to come past Eric Jones here. Not going to happen. There we go. Looks like a bit of a push up the racetrack as Logano's trying to get past Harrison Burton, who's all over the back of Alex Bowman for position. Truex is still looking to make that move on the 24 car. Looks like he's got something into turn 1 and 2 this time. I mean, that's going to be taking over third position. Harrison Burton's got so much speed here that he's having to go up top to try and make things happen. Bowman now is going to push his way past Truex. Truex has got a good enough front to hold third for the time being. It's allowed Buescher and Newman to pull away up front. Sort of the top 11, I think, are pulling away slightly. Does look like probably the top 17 are starting to gap the field slightly. It'll be interesting to see what happens as we go through pit cycles, traffic, if there's any wrecks. I mean, we saw mechanical issues as well at Atlanta, so it's very much possible to see those come into effect today. Bobby Newman, your race leader at the moment, was one of the people that suffered. Finished several laps down in the end as here comes Buescher, looking for a way past the youngster. He's in his sophomore year, only on a part-time basis. He was with Levine last year and very much struggled to adapt to the Cup Series. It goes very high there. It's allowed not only Buescher pass, but here comes Truex and Bowman. Bowman making some big moves early on to get through the order. Oh, it's getting very close. Into 3s and 4. I reckon Truex might get a bit of a run to try and push away from Bowman, but Bowman's still going to have his nose in air by the time we get into 1. And he does it. So Bowman into second place. Eric Jones going to look to follow him through. These two have been the worst performing 100 cars so far this season. Looking further back at the field, Amarola's struggled so far today. Lassard has not made a fantastic impression at the start. Just like the field's come back together slightly. Denny Hamlin's in a good position at the moment. In the 47 car, running in the top 20 for JTG. They'll be very happy with that. Haley doing very well. You saw it last time out. Walking the 15-2 today, the 33 Kurt Busch, the 1 of Tyler Reddick. Bourdais, you can never rule out Sebastian Bourdais. Yeah, it's been a fascinating race so far. Back up front, Bowman. So now I'm going to start to think about making the move on the leader. Got Eric Jones behind. In the 24 car, and we get Bell, we get Keselowski, and we've got Harrison Burton. He take a second win this season for a different team. I haven't seen that in a long time. A driver winning for 2 different teams in the season. Have we ever seen that in NASCAR? I do not know. That would be something to research, but that would be an interesting storyline to see play out. Meanwhile, back up front, Busch has pulled a bit of a gap. A bit of battling behind has allowed the gap for the Hendrick cars, but Eric Jones, bored sitting behind Bowman, he's going to make a move down the inside. Bowman is under a little bit of pressure, I would reckon. Hasn't had a good start to the season, hasn't got the results, and it's not been down to him as such. It's just not. Issues with the car played a part. So a good result today would really kickstart his season. Here comes Keselowski. He's now looking at Eric Jones, and that will put him into second. He will now start to push down to try and catch his teammate, who's in fine form at the moment. And on lap 25 leads this race. Through the field, Harvick currently. It's a bit of a shame, really, how Richard Petty performed this weekend. Harvick's top 10 in the last 2 races. And here he is, right near the back. As soon as engine power becomes important, this team struggles. and he's right near the back of the field with Kenseth, who we kind of expected. We didn't see much coming for the Vine family racing. Blaney, really expected more from him so far today. Struggling with Chase Briscoe. Then we get Deegan on a solid enough run. Anderson, Sargent, there's De Benedetto and Rosenfist, who have lost touch. Says Hector Gutierrez. Have we lost anyone from this race so far? We have lost Darrell Wallace Jr., sadly, with a gearbox problem. So we are down to 41 runners. Hector Gutierrez here runs in 32nd position, with 31st place being Landon Castle. Looking to bring some decent points home for Starcom. He's not too far away from the group. Dylan, Petty, Bain, Chastain, and Amarola, who's a bit wayward. Lots of battling going on. Meanwhile, Keselowski had made the move on Buescher for the lead. So he's desperately trying to make the case that he should be one of the main guys for this team this year. They can't get rid of Buescher at the moment. Points leader, driving well. So Keselowski's the one that's come under maybe a bit more pressure. Because Harrison, they want Burton in the playoffs. He won the first race of the season, fair and square, and they want him representing this team. So it's a very difficult situation over at Childress to decide. Bobby Newman in fourth, that would make a very awkward situation there. What to do if your academy driver wins. Not as simple just putting them in part-time entry, because it just doesn't give you enough races to complete a season. And Sam Mayer is already on his third appearance, so that car has only got 9 runouts left. Justin Haley still sticking with the lead pack, and with quite a few others. Sort of top 25 at the moment, I'm feeling could be contenders for the win. It's not going to be easy for everyone. Buescher retakes the lead from Keselowski, the RCR boys, going back and forwards here. About 15 minutes into this race, 31 laps complete. It's very impressive to see what Childress have done over the past couple of years. They've been one of the teams that have properly moved up the pecking order. And good driver signings, good decisions on where to upgrade. The cars are looking very strong. They still have weaknesses, this team. It's not the best handling car. As soon as you get to a power track, you can expect them to be on pole. But the track maybe with more cornering, it's not so easy. So still a team with work to do, but it's very much a team that you don't want to mess with and that are going to be favourites for championships. They're going to be a tough team to beat this year. Keselowski now sitting behind his teammate, looking down, try and pull them away. And there's Bobby Newman in third, 83 car. It's good today. It's a track that probably suits this team a bit better than Atlanta. They were quick at Atlanta though as well, so Red Bull are looking good at the moment. One of the big part of the big academy push for teams a few years back, Bobby Newman would love to be the first one of them to say, I'm a race winner in the Cup Series. Didn't make move down Keselowski into turn 3. He really did struggle at the Vine last season. It just didn't go well. While Jimmy Johnson was qualifying for races, he often found himself failing to make it, fighting to make it. He just didn't qualify on his own accords in the top 38 last year. And obviously, Levine struggled with car performance, but he just couldn't quite match up to Jimmy Johnson. He's now going to try and make a move on Chris Buescher for the leader at Atlanta. Atlanta, Las Vegas. Real turnaround for this young man so far this year. And if he can win today, it could be a big deal. We know these F1 teams have come to these rounds with a car they believe is going to be a good package. They're really confident that they've got the jump over the series regulars, both Williams and Red Bull. So top sort of guys have pulled away. Bit of working together from Newman and Busch has helped. But Kyle Busch is in the mix. He was your winner at Atlanta in the 18 car. Breaking about 45 race winless streak. And he's now starting to bear down in the leading duo. So, in this little breakaway group, it's quite impressive that about half the track separates everyone. And most of them are on this front straightaway. So we've got about 3 contenders at the moment. Let's look back. We've got Bell in 4th position, having another stronger run compared to what he was doing last season, and we get Keselowski. Logano looking pretty content at the moment. Eric Jones, old guy, running top 10. He hasn't had the top 10 finish so far this year. Would love to make his first today, and there comes Harrison Burton. Down the inside of the 19 car. Can't quite make the move there. Byron is going to be looking to try and make something happen. Roman Truex, and then 13th Mayer, 14th Custom, and get Chandler Smith. Then you drop back a bit to find Chase Elliott, Cindric, Busch, Lassard, Haley, Reddick, Suarez, Almirola, Lundgaard, Dillon, Bourdais, Petty, Chastain, and Hamlin. You've got a group of 3 here. I don't know if someone else is. No one's had issues. Looks like the pack's just got a bit fractured in the battling. So, as Allgaier starts to come under a bit of pressure behind from Harrison Burton, we are heading towards 50 laps very quickly. Out of the race distance in nearly 20 minutes. And Chris Buescher still leads the way. Would love to pick up an early win this season. Didn't get that last year. No. He's in it. He's within a shot today. He's been within a shot every race this season. He leads from Bobby Newman. No caution so far today. He's kept it rather clean. And the race has calmed down a little bit. Bobby Newman's been pretty content at the moment. Surprisingly so. He's not been too bothered by the fact he's sitting behind the leader here, but I think Kyle Busch maybe is less content. He's going to force his way down the inside into turn 4. Doesn't get the move done by the start and finish line, but I reckon he'll have it here. Meanwhile, Keselowski is going to see Christopher Bell force his way through the inside. And that's given the race leader a bit more breather room. Bobby Newman is not done with Kyle Busch. He's sticking it to the 2-time champion. Back down the inside. Back down the start finish straight. He's going to keep second this lap despite starting it on the outside of the corner. Meanwhile, it's going to be Keselowski who survived the attack from Bell making a move. On the cut off Busch, there's Bell. It's going to allow the field to sort of come back together. Bobby Newman's now going to start trying to hunt down Chris Buescher in the lead. That 3 car has been very good so far today. Led the most laps, You can understand why. Keselowski has just got to try and make this move. But while these guys are battling, you allow people away. And while it's fairly easy to make it the time back up, you don't want to happen. You don't want it to be a situation at the end of the race where you've got too much time to move up. Interesting just to see. As exiting turn 2 is Smith, you then get Cindric and Co a few seconds back, working fairly well together. But a few packs are reformed. Buescher and Newman have pulled away. Keselowski and Buescher pulled away. And then you sort of get Eric Jones, who's having to fight the Williams of Harrison Burton here. Cars have been reliable so far. Probably wasn't quite expecting it to be, well, wasn't expecting such reliability. We saw quite a few issues arise last time out. Burton now makes his way into 5th position. He's got a bit of work to do to catch up with the leaders. Newman still looking to try and make that move for the win. If he takes victory today, it does change the season complexion even more. Burton's win at Daytona, that was a big deal. But Newman here, that would really shake things up. And, Gibbs have been smart with him. They've decided to consistently put him in races. Red Bull are in a strong position here. They'll probably fall off as the season progresses. Right now he's in a position in the lead group. A circuit. Burton needs something to happen in front of him to help him get back in this group. This battle's really just not helped people. And you can just see where people battle. It just allows people to just pull away. As meanwhile, Keselowski and Busch are making their way past Newman. Keselowski now going to turn his attention to race leader Chris Buescher. Here we come. 54 laps done today. We've been racing for about 25 minutes. The top 3, they've got a little bit of a gap out to Newman. Probably be made up. As meanwhile, Harrison Burton, who's been by himself, seeing Logano and Jones come towards him. There's Byron, who's doing decently. Allgaier, Costa, Smith, Bell, a few other little packs of cars. It'll be interesting to see how strategy shakes things up in today's race, because we are heading to pit stops. And it's Chris Buescher that's decided to come in. I think Anderson was the first one a lap ago. Make sure he doesn't come. Oh, Rosenqvist makes a very odd entry into pit lane. I don't know how that's going to go down. If that's going to be a penalty, being missed the cones. He's some pretty fast entering as Keselowski is in, and Harrison Burton takes the front. Tyre wear isn't such an issue here. As you can see, they're sort of about a second lap off the pace they were earlier. So it's not such a big deal here. For some reason, the guy dropped way back into turn 1. Yeah, people are coming out of the pits. Ooh, Deegan. It's had damage. Caution's not out, but I'm not sure what's happened to Hayley Deegan here. I'm guessing there's been some drama on pit lane. No, she came from the track, so let's see what happened. What was she just? I think she's had. Oh, Logan Sargent, very lucky not to be collected there. I think Deegan's got a problem. So yeah, she's down pit lane, following his old guy. Such a difficult track to get down to pit road speed on. hard to sort of see where people are on track at the moment. It does look like Busher is maintained. His lead. Looks like Harrison Burton is going to come out of this pretty well. This comes up right in front of the battle between Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski, but it's fourth position. Newman's a bit of a loser. So it was Jones in one of the best sequence in the world. Custer's in the pits. Is that Tyler Reddick in a good position? They made a good call there. Currently running in the 11th. Who's the leader? I guess that was formerly Custer. No, Custer's something ups down. I don't know if my time screen just didn't update quickly. There we go. So back into the lead. Here comes Cole Custer. He's a lot down now, so the 11 team have had some sort of issue. Bobby Newman now trying to make it work on the guy with Jones, old guy. And then we get Tyler Reddick is in a good position at the moment. So is Justin Haley. Lundgaard's in the top 20 position at the moment. I'm trying to figure out where maybe some of the leading guys. Elliott's 27, Bell's 28. So they've had some bad stops. Top 30 for Landon Castle. That's very good for him. Kurt Busch, big loser out of that round of stops. Meanwhile, Keselowski is all over the back. Chris Buescher for position. And moving up towards them, with Kyle Busch, he's really put the demons of last year behind him. He's looking much quicker. Currently in third position, and then you get Harrison Burton in fourth for Williams. So good calls, good stops. That team is now in the fight for the lead it's wanted to be today. They were expecting a good. They had a good race car. They really wanted to. So here we come. Leads in four, and then you get the other four, which is not sort of making the progress up the field. Gotta say, Justin Haley in this pack is going to be very content. And he struggled in the first two rounds of the championship. We didn't really see the best from him at Daytona, North Carolina. But now we've got to Atlanta, we've got to Vegas. Qualified right up there with Austin Dillon, and he's been racing remarkably well. Christian Lundgaard today has been very impressive. It's not been the Roush car people expected to do well. No one was really going into this thinking he is going to be the one, but he's remarkably good so far. The Sards we've already sort of mentioned this season about the 0-2, fifth in points. He's done a really good job that car. Better than what Lundgaard was doing in it when he joined the team. Lundgaard had some very good results early on, but struggled overall. I don't think Penske supported the entry as much, but with the Sard doing well, Penske with a bit of a dilemma of what to do with it. This has been a very hurtful round of stops for Elliott and Bell. Elliott's having a good season so far. Bell looking a lot quicker, but bad stops are really putting down the order. Hector Gutierrez, currently 6th and 23rd. He's going to be rather happy with that. Sort of top right now, it's looking very good for a top 30 for Landon Castle. Starcom have made the right call on the strategy. Well, good strategy, good stop, and they're in a good position. And that as a team, I reckon, is going to start moving up the pecking order. It's not easy being a one-car team in this series, but they've got a very loyal driver. Castle enjoys working with the team. They had a good relationship last year. And despite the lack of an alliance at that, the first 2020, we didn't really see the best of this partnership. It struggled slightly. Last year we saw a significant step up. But I think part of the problem was Castle was only on a 30 race schedule rather than a 36 race schedule. He shared his ride with Alon Day, um, who was doing most of the street courses. But yeah, Castle didn't quite click in 2020. 2021, we saw big improvements. We saw this team, out of the small teams in this series, we saw probably the biggest improvement from Starcom Racing. He's now going right down on the inside of Hector Gutierrez. But we saw big improvements there without an alliance, mind you, which was a big part of last season. We've seen less of that this year, but it worked. And now it's just looking very good for the team. Looking a bit further forward, we see a bit more battling. Top 10 spots they're fighting for. We have missed out from the lead battle while we're talking about Starcom. I do apologise for that. Currently, it's Harrison Burton up front in the 5 car. This could be a win that shakes up. This could change NASCAR. This would be a huge deal if Burton wins today. He's very confident that he's got the car to do it, but it would really change the sport because it would be a statement to RCR. There is rumours swirling that RCR, to make sure Burton is playoff eligible, that they're going to maybe put him in the 8 car going forwards. Depending, Keselowski's not in the best start to the season, and I know, obviously, we've got a long way to go. If you probably demote Keselowski, you'll probably see him win the next race and then cause more problems. But Burton really wants to make that statement. A statement of intent for the grid to show that he's the one to carry this team forwards. As Keselowski makes a move on Buescher. But yeah, Burton's rise through NASCAR, as we can start to see. There's Bobby Neiman, Olguy, Logano, and Jones. Burton's sort of rise through the ranks in NASCAR. He was on a partial schedule in 2020 with Richard Childress Racing, driving the 31 car shares with Haley Deegan. Let's try and find where he was in points for 2020 quickly for you. We come on past lap 75. We're heading towards the halfway mark, 40 laps into this race. But in 2020, he was a partial season driver, so obviously didn't have too much rides, but he finished 34th in points, doing 18 races compared to the 36. He had some very impressive results. He had a 5th place at Daytona in his sort of debut race. And compared to Deegan, who was 39th in the points, he was very impressive. Deegan scored, what was it? 312 points, and we saw 438 from Burton. So it was a big point output. We saw a 5th at Daytona. We saw a 2nd place. I think it was Dager he got on it. But we've seen a 2nd, a 3rd, a 9th, a 5th. We saw a wide range of good results on that debut season. Last year was a bit more of a challenge. It was his first full-time year in the Cup Series. Didn't make the playoffs. He finished 24th in points. Had some few bright spots, and arguably could have won Talladega that year. The race that eventually was won by his teammate Reagan, who took his second win of the season at that point. But he was a bit disappointed with that first season, and it made Childress a bit tentative to pull the trigger on him. Didn't quite get the results. Maybe the weaker link. Maybe it was because the time car was, at the time, was the weak link. But it wasn't the weak car wasn't the weak link. It was more the car and driver combination, because Harvick did a grand job in the 43. But yeah, didn't shine last season. I think that made RCR a little more tentative. There was plans to expand this program into a 4-car team, but finances kind of stopped any sort of plans of that. They didn't really gather enough prize money from the 2-car operation itself. Obviously, this season they might. With 3 cars overall for the team, they're hoping for something a bit more. As here we come, Keselowski and Buescher continue to fight. As this field has sort of started to leave Eric Jones behind. You can see here, cars desperately trying not to be left behind the field. There we go, Landon Castle, 25th position at the moment. That's a fantastic performance so far. Hector Gutierrez has lost out. We get Busch, Rosenqvist and Bain, who's pulling away from the rest of this pack. But yeah, but I didn't want to pull the trigger on that. And when the team head to, well, Burton was in consideration for the planned 4-car operation RCR were going to run this season. And all of a sudden, the finances wasn't there. And the team decided, we'll run the 3rd part-time car because we're a manufacturer team. We'll run a 3rd part-time car. And we'll put Burton in that. We'll give a car to Williams to run Riley Herbst, another driver RCR are keeping tabs on, and we'll see how it goes. And I don't think part of the plan was Harrison Burton to be the first of the RCR boys to win a race this season. And that's causing a lot of panic at the team as Keselowski now dives down the inside of the 5-car. But yeah, it's caused a lot of... It caused panic at RCR because they didn't really know what to do. They're desperately trying to put the program together for the kid. They want him in the playoffs. They believe he's deserved the shot. And in his other 2 races, he's driven very commendably. He's got solid results. He's kept it out of trouble. So he's someone that RCR want going forwards. This old guy now is looking to take 2nd. Old guy's running extremely well today. But yeah, that's a bit about Burton. In this Williams car for the first time, was driven by Riley Herbst, if you remember, the first 2 races. But Williams, with their technical agreement with RCR went, well, we want Burton in that car. We want him in the playoffs. So we're going to use his appearances, race, driving the 5-car. I don't think Williams are going to complain too much. They have a very talented driver in the car who is in contention for another win today. Brad Keselowski, your pole sitter, is in the lead, heading on to lap 90 of this race. Kyle Busch is in 2nd with Justin Allgaier running in 3rd position. His best run of the season at the moment will continue to be. The top 8 have called a bit of a gap. 4th place is Harrison Burton. 5th is Bobby Newman ahead of Joey Logano, Eric Jones and Chris Buescher. Running under out the top 10 is Bowman and Cindric, who pulled away from this little pack here. It's your top 20. Paul Landon Castle's dropped away from the back of the battle. The 24th, 23rd, 22nd, 21st. Hector Gutierrez. I guess tyres are playing a factor here. I know the slipstream is very important, but I think maybe Gutierrez is struggling a bit more on tyres today. Not stopping Tyler Anderson getting involved in the group he's in. This is going to be very difficult for the leaders to sort of navigate. You've got some fast drivers, some frustrated drivers with the equipment they've got for this weekend. Not going to make it easy. Old guy, it's going to see Burton diving down the inside once again. So Burton now starting to push his way back towards the front of the field. Bush has dropped back a little bit. We saw this at Atlanta. I don't know if it's just Butcher's way of keeping it safe, not believing that we're going to get 16 winners, or he's just happy to pick up points. Because it's unlikely you're going to get 16 winners, but we saw him drop a little bit back in Atlanta, and he was kind of content there. I'd be interested to see how long this sort of strategy will work, how long it's going to play off in this race. But yeah, it has this little habit of dropping back a little bit, just seeing how things go. I'll be curious to see how he plays out for him today. Bush in second position. He's on a great run at the moment. For whatever reason, Gibbs are getting it right this season. Keselowski crosses the line, leads yet another lap. We're coming up to 100 laps completed. Gonna have to deal with this big group, and it'll be interesting to see if people can hold up with the pack. If they can use the slipstream. Quickly check on any other retirements. We lost Wallace because of a gearbox problem. Not quite. Byron was one I've been trying to figure out what happened to. Byron and Truex have lost a lot of time. I knew they had some sort of issue because that was. It's probably my fault for not quite realising this sooner. But there's Byron. He's in pit lane. It's not a good camera angle, so we'll get the pit lane cam. That's not a very good angle either. That's not either. But yeah, there's a spectator cam of him in pit lane. Truex, is he on track? Let's try and find the 4 car. There he is. Running way off the pace at the moment. I don't know what issues he's had. Don't think it was an incident. Apologies, I'm going to look back just to see what has happened. I'm guessing it's just been him coming out the pit lane because of a mechanical fault. But I would be curious to see if something's happened with Byron. I might have to go through a few laps. No, he just pulled off on his own accord. Alright. Back up front, Keselowski's just trying to work his way through the traffic. He's got Bush in second, but he's got Harrison Burton diving it down the inside. Burton, he's fighting for a top seat, an opportunity. He's now going side by side with Kyle Busch, using the slipstream of Harvick. It's going to give Keselowski a break. But as we are now on 100, there'll be 61 to go this time by. Races flying by. So far tonight, Logano now dives down the inside of Busch. These two have seemed to be the class of the fields this season. They've been very fast. Logano is looking to make it 3 in a row. Not so easy this season, I don't reckon. There's an old guy at Newman. Jones and Buscher are your top 8. I think those are the contenders. Cindric's in 9th. Saw him a bit further back in the field early on, but he's driving very well. And we get Chandler Smith in 10th. Bowman, Almirola, Chastain in 13th. That's a good run at the moment. Lassard in 15th again, very impressive. Haley in 17th. Lundgaard in 18th. So Day that's going to try and make a move. Day's a playoff contender this season. Meanwhile, this little group with Bane, Gutierrez, and Rosenfist with Kurt Busch are starting to close back in on Landon Castle in the 00 car. So up front, Deegan's now going to be coming under pressure from Keselowski, along with Harrison Burton. It'll be interesting to see when they pit. I reckon this will be the last round of stops. I reckon we're on a 2-stopper here. Keselowski dives down the inside of the 23 car. Involved in an incident early on, and is now 6 laps down. Harrison Burton going to be next to try and make the move. Byron is still classified being in this race. 15 laps down. I think that's going to be classified as a did not finish. Depends if you can get that car back going, but it's disappointing. More reliability issues plaguing a top team. And it's been top teams that have struggled with reliability this season. Obviously, Wood Brothers have struggled with Wallace today. Gearbox went, but it's not been smooth sailing. So Keselowski's next victim. Oh, Logano's coming out of the pit lane. So Penske are having way more issues than first imagined. Was that Logano making the pit stop early? It could be that. I could really be reading too much into this. I don't see anyone else ever made the stop yet. I think that's issues for the 22 car. It's a couple laps down from the leaders. I don't know if that's reason enough. I don't know. I think that's interesting. I haven't seen anyone else come in. Either a very early stop, weird call, or the 22 team have had problems. I think problems have before another Penske car today. So meanwhile, it's Burton and Keselowski up front. Busch is there, sitting patiently, and then you get Justin Allgaier in 4th position. And Bobby Newman, Busch are in 6th, and then you get Eric Jones. It's Blaney passing to Benedetto. Chandler Smith in 8th place. He's looked pretty solid this weekend. I know he's not with the lead group, but he has looked a bit more comfortable at this racetrack. He looked good at Daytona, so looked good here. You get Cindric and Almirola, Mayer, Lassard. 13th place at the moment is Justin Haley. This is a fantastic performance from the premium motorsport driver. Problems have performed other contenders, but he's running a top 15 and he's with legit fast cars. Premium are sort of one of the rising teams. They bought RCR equipment when they sold then what was the 31 car. Since then, they've not looked back. And that 15 car is doing a fantastic job. He's closing in. Rafael Lassard is looking for another good finish today. Back up front as people are battling to pass the traffic. It's Keselowski, Burton, Buescher. And then we get Newman and Buescher. Kurt Busch comes out of the pit lane. I reckon we are entering the pit sequence. As Harrison Burton dives down the inside. 55 laps. You'll get to the end there. I don't know if Kurt Busch has had some issues, which is why he boxed earlier, but again, it's hard to tell. But Burton leads into turns 1 and 2. And Busch is now down the inside of Brad Keselowski, looking for 2nd position. Be interested now to see what Buescher, Newman, and Jones can do. Looks like Justin Allgaier just dropped back a bit. He's in 7th place. I think maybe he's got a bit caught up. Chase Elliott is coming to the pit lane. Oh, caution's out. Oh, and that's Tyler Petty's 43 car. Really beaten up. So there's been drama on the track. There's 40th place. Deegan's has got involved in more contact with Elliott. And who else is in the pit lane at the moment? Byron. Oh, it's Byron. But that's changed a lot. So a lot's happened to the 23 and the 43. These guys were way down the pecking order anyway, but it looks like don't quite get what happened there with Tyler Petty. I guess he's had an issue. That's really strange. It looks like he just went straight into the wall. Here we go. Oh, that's a very odd accident for the 43 car. Let's go on board. Let's try and figure this one out. I'm very confused of what's happened here. Don't know if it was a puncture or a steering failure. And Deegan just didn't really have anywhere to go. But it wasn't like there was a mechanical fault like with Deegan, which slowed it down into the wall. Petty just went. The car straightened up and went into the wall. So his torrid day is over. He's been ruined. Back on the track. Elliott has lost a lap. Some people are coming up the pit lane. It's going to be a really interesting last stint because we are back to basics here. A few people are a lap down. But we've got 26 on the lead lap. Here are some names that are not on the lead lap. Joey Logano. Elliott's technically on the lead lap, but Joey Logano, Cole Custer, Truex, it's a Valve and Kurt Busch's car that's put him out of the race. Deegan's got a bit of an issue with the fuel pump. Maybe that's what sent her into the wall earlier, but Custer, Logano. Got Blaney. He's a decent car. Harvick has been top 10 recently. Got like Landon Castle in 24. This could be a really interesting end to this race. Pressure's on Harrison Burton here. We are going to go back to racing now. Lap 115. End of lap 115. We've come to about 46 to go, and we're back racing. Elliott brings us back to green. Truex is very sluggish away, and that's going to cause a bit of drama. But here we come. Harrison Burton takes the lead of Chase Elliott, and Keselowski has made the move on Busch. Looking back at the pecking order, because I think this is going to be a bit chaotic. Thanks to Truex, but they're all sort of getting through it. You're going to have to deal with the traffic if you want to win today's race. Harrison Burton leads at Las Vegas. Can he take a win? The cars are good on tires, good on fuel to the end. There is nothing that's going to stop them now. It's just a flat-out sprint to the end of this race. And with Truex, who's having issues with that car, it's now a case of who's going to be there at the end. Here comes Keselowski. Really good run off turn 4. Trying to find something down the back straightaway. Can't quite do it there. Burton leads into turn 1 and 2 for the 118th time. Busch is there, sort of waiting and watching. Never down the field. 11th place at the moment. Justin Haley. Lundgaard in 12. That's a fantastic performance. It's a great day altogether for premium motorsport. And it could be more. Amarola's on for a great result here. Old guys moving up into the top 5. So here we come. On the exit of 2, Kyle Busch is looking like he's closed in on Keselowski, and Elliott's there. Elliott just wants to pounce, so if there is another caution at the end of this race, he's there to take advantage of it. So, 3 cars, then a lap car, and then you get Busch, and those are your contenders. Old guy, Jones, Cindric. We get Chandler Smith. Amarola, Bowman, Justin Haley, Christian Lundgaard. There's Reddick. Rosenqvist is looking for a good result. Bobby Newman, he's lost out a bit today. He's now outside the top. He's fighting for a top 20. Lundgaard's going to make the move on Haley, go back up front. Looks like Keselowski has got a good run here, but now you've got to deal with the issue of the 43 car. It's going very slowly on the track. It's doing 32-second lap times. That is going to be a pain to deal with until the end of the race, because on NR2003 there's no system to black flag someone. That car is sorely off the pace. It's worse than Truex's times that they are coming up to, by the way. So traffic is going to be a problem. It's going to be about navigating it, getting past it quickly. Russia's lost a bit of time for it all. And meanwhile, it is all stacked up here because of traffic. It's too many cars, and it's all trying to find a way past Tyler Pelly, Sal Cindric. A bit of breathing room. Now Martin Truex Jr. is getting involved, holding people up. So here we go. Heading on to lap 125. Burton still leads this. And now the top four are in a bit of a line here. Looks like the actions of Tyler Pelly have really changed the complexion of this race. And it's lucky they're not causing a wreck. This is really problematic. Pelly has just got this car running at a minimum speed. They're going to come up. Lee's are going to come up to him soon. Wow, that's been hugely problematic. And he's only down the front straightaway in that 43 car. It's a mess. Back up front, Busch is still trying to chase down the leading group. It's Burton leading it. It looks like it's Kyle Busch coming to make the move. And Brad Keselowski. Keselowski has got a good exit off of turn number 2. So he'll keep second place. And instead, it's going to be Chris Buescher to the inside. Not going to make that work, so he's going to just keep it there. He's in contention again. Getting the result when it matters. Down front straight away. You're not going to get Pelly this time. Maybe a few more laps. Great battles for position here. Truex is playing interference. Back markers are proving problematic today. Not for this leading four at the moment. Coming up, lap 129. It's been a good stint up front for Harrison Burton. Now you're coming up to another problem child. You go, oh, that's not gone well for Burton. He's kind of stuck because you try to go up high around, but it's not worked. There's not enough track. He needs to get low. He's not got Petty's in the way here. And it looks like Burton is furious. He's lost so much time to that. Lap markers are causing problems in this race. I think there's going to be a few stern words by Richard Petty for Motorsport. I guess you can deal with Truex. It's a bit of a nuisance. It's 3 seconds off the pace. Not god awful, but this is 6 seconds off the pace at best. And that's ruined Burton's day. Until these guys to start battling a bit more, but Burton's going to be absolutely furious. And who can blame him? I get they're trying to keep Petty out there to pick up on any points. That is just being a nuisance. That car is a state. I've not seen a car of that state circulate in a NASCAR race for a long time. That front's crumpled in. It's just a mess. It's causing havoc as people are just trying to stay out of his way. And for Burton, all these guys are doing 7. He's off the pace now. Really needs to hope Truex holds someone up, I think. I think they'll get to him on the straightaway. Be a bit of a block potentially. It's not the easiest to get past. 27 ones. That's infuriating for Burton. Obviously, it'll be next time. There'll be other opportunities today. Petty is still going to be getting in the way. It's infuriating. But Keselowski leads it. It's benefited quite nicely from the drama with back markers. An hour and 5 minutes or so into this race today. Trying to hold Chris Buescher back. 2017, so that last lap was beneficial for Burton. But now Keselowski looking to capitalise, try and win this thing. Give himself some job security. Get himself into a decent enough position in the points. Buescher is going to be your point leader probably by the time we leave Vegas. Buescher's going to be in a good points position, but I'm desperately trying it. He's a few tenths off without the slipstream. Here we go. Here comes the problem, man. Not so much of an issue this time, but it's going to be infuriating. We're going to see him probably quite a few more times. But it does make it past him a lot easier this time. But that's fractured the field up because Buescher was slow getting down below him. But now it's going to cause the opposite problem. 27.7 didn't. This whole traffic has not helped Harrison Burton make any progress towards trying to win this race. Keselowski, though, is going to start looking. Let's look further back through the field. All guys currently in 5th. You get Christopher Bell, Cindric, Newman, Almirola, and Bowman. That's the top 10 at the moment. Chandler Smith, Justin Haley, Eric Jones, Hamlin, Trevor Baynes in a great position. Landon Castle is in 16th place for Starcom Racing. This is a fantastic result for the team. It's got Suarez there, Rosenqvist behind him. 19th is Bourdais, and then you've got Dillon trying to hold off for a top 20 today. There's going to be a bit disappointing. So is Lassard and Lundgaard. They were kind of expecting a bit more. Right. Kenseth's now in the pit lane. Truex is going to be the next one causing problems for the leaders. I think it is a 3-horse race. I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to write them off. He's 3 seconds back now as a result of the drama with the 43 car. I do not know how that's allowed, how that's been decided to put back on the racetrack. Buescher now just biding his time to make the move on Keselowski. Truex, 38th position, and for me, Petty's back in the firing zone. I get he's trying. He's not run as awfully. He's done a 30.0 that time by. You've seen way worse laps, but it's not particularly encouraging. 168 off the corner. Meanwhile, it's all getting a bit caught up behind. Truex, Busch has lost out. .27.7 is that time by. Well, we saw a lovely 27.2. It's not happening for Burton. Petty is very much still the man to beat. Unless there's an incident, I can't really see this result changing. Burton makes the move. There, you've got 3 cars. We're coming up to about 16 to go. Who's going to take the win? We'll probably see 2 more Petty appearances, maybe 3 at the rate he's going around the track. Keselowski, Busch, Buescher, Burton. 8-1-6 that time. Pine Truex is catching him up. So a lap down. Here he comes down the inside. That's not good news for Chase Elliott. More for Justin Allgaier, who's just trying to do a bit of honest work today. Justin Haley's just here pushing for a top 10 potential. He's in the mix. He is in the mix still. Here we come. Keselowski still needs it. He's desperate to hold on to this. Busch wants his 2nd win of the season. It would just consolidate his place in the playoffs, consolidate his place on the all-time list. But here comes Buescher. Yet to win this season, but would like to prove that he is going to be the one to beat for this championship. He's on a run at the moment that sort of emulates Cole Custer at the start of last season. Obviously, it didn't end well for Custer, but he believes he's got the package this year. Now he's going to look at Brad Keselowski. Just worried though, thinking I saw the lights. The caution car. Pace car, caution car. God, what am I chatting sometimes? Bobby Newman now into 5th place. We'll soon be reaching 10 to go. And we know it's difficult to make the move here. Keselowski, unless it's a bigger pack, not the easiest place to make a move. Just looking forward a bit. They are coming up to Tyler Petty once again. And I think they're going to catch him in the corner. They're running so much faster than him. Right, they're just going to get him on the exit. I've been very lucky not to have the problems Harrison Burton did. Just not the day for Burton. It's still a good result. Saying that, Keselowski goes up high. And it's made that work. So Tyler Petty is now given Keselowski yet another break. Of course, those slipstreams are important here, so I don't know if that's going to quite work for him. I don't think he's going to make the breakaway he's quite hoping for. 10 to go. Let's see if Buescher just needs to make up a lot of time now. 189 corner exit. Buescher is much faster there. 27.4, 27.4. But obviously, Buescher's got the advantage of slipstream. Keselowski does have a bit of assistance now. I know it's all starting to drop back a bit. There's passing Truex now. Oh, this is going to be more nightmares for Buescher. And he's got caught behind another back marker. So Keselowski's going to be laughing here. But he still doesn't have support. So now Buescher is on the hunt. This is going to be an important few laps. Very talented driver of the 3 car. Final 4 from last year. He needs Bush just to work with him. It doesn't matter as long as he starts making inroads. So let's look at this. About 190 on the corner exit. 192 for Busher. He could do it, 196 there. Bush is at about 200 miles an hour. 27.1. Plays 27.3. About 1.3 seconds. He can do it, and he can get a run as well, and potentially make a move. 197 into that corner. 200 for Busher. Bush just needs to sit and play it safe. He doesn't want to cause a battle. He doesn't want to lose the time. If he wants to win this race, he's just going to have to work with it. 26.9s there compared to 27.3. The advantages of working with someone else here is very evident. And Busher is getting the help from Bush. Through 3 and 4, here they go. Bush really, I think Kyle Busch is in a great position here, potentially, to try and make something work. Can RCR not trip up in front of each other? Gotta probably check this, but I don't think RCR have converted a front row lockout into a 1-2 before. Well, definitely not in this sim. Here we come. 4 to go at the line. It's closing in again, but Bush is now deciding to times now. And close enough. He's going to try and make the move. Busher is going to keep it mid-corner. I don't think he's going to do it. I think Kyle Busch is making a power play. I think, though, this is just going to help Brad Keselowski. Here we go, into 3 and 4. Kyle Busch has decided he is going to be the one to win this race. Not Busher, but him. Past the line. They are catching up with that. Here we go. It's about 4/10 of a second. You can make them up working together. 191 on the corner exit. Oh, Tyler Petty there. Oh, that's going to be really awkward coming into here. And it's closed up again. Busher is pushing it past Bush, and now he's right back on his teammate. Heading towards the start-finish line. Into turn 1. Can he make it work? He's looking, and he's 2 to go. Tyler Petty, which has been so helpful to Brad Keselowski, might have just cost him this race. Down the inside, into turn 3 and 4. Here comes Kyle Busch, looking to spoil the RCR 1-2. Pushes into the lead, onto the last lap. What can Keselowski do to respond? We've got Lassard here. Without the slipstream, is he going to play a factor? Is he going to hold the guys up? He is a Penske affiliated car. Here we come. Down the back straightaway. Chris Buescher entering turn 3 for the final time. Is he going to hold it? He just needs to make sure that Keselowski doesn't go underneath him, despite being held up by Lassard. Chris Buescher still with victory at Las Vegas. And his run of form continues. Keselowski second, Busch in third. Burton, bless him, could have won the race. 4th position today. And let's look at the rest of the results. 5th place, Chandler Smith. Great result for him. 6th place for Christopher Bell. Albert Rowe 7th. Jones in 8th. Bowman 9th. And Justin Haley, with Premium Motorsport, is in 10th place. Bobby Newman 11th. Cindric 12th. Old guy still hasn't got his first top 10 of the year. 13th. Danny Hamlin 14th. Be very happy with that performance today. Bain in 15th. 16th is Suarez with Bourdain 17th. And Rosenfist in 18th. Reddick 19th. Mayer in 20th. Landon Castle 21st. Gutierrez 22nd. And you get Chastain, Dillon, Lundgaard and Lassard, Elliott Blaney, Logano, Harvick, De Benedetto, Sargent, Briscoe, Anson, Costa Petty, Truex, Kenseth, and then Kurt Busch, Deegan, Byron, and Wallace didn't finish. Thank you all very much for watching. A dramatic race where back markers really changed the result. Chris Buescher is on the run. Who is going to stop him? Thank you very much for watching. See you next time for round 5 at Phoenix.